Welcome back to the channel. Now, I hope you're going to enjoy this part of the big garage build, because guess who's back?
Back again.
Yeah, how you been?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. Good.
Yeah?
Been working in Devon, doing a house rebuild. Well, we took the house from windows and from
Wind
there,
and
really.
watertight.
Yeah, wind and watertight, and taking it from there. So it's been good. It's been a long year, but it's been good. Yeah, so really enjoyed it. Good opportunity for me to take on a job and project manage it and run it. So it was good.
Yeah, and so many people have been saying for months, where's Ed? When's Ed coming back? And I'm like just saying, yeah, Ed will be back. Ed will be back soon. So Ed is back. So in the last video, you saw that I'd started all of these walls. The oak arrived, and now we're going to, with Ed's help, we're going to start putting the thing up over the next couple of days. We'll continue and finish all this stud work. We'll stand it all up. We'll get it all the perimeter of the building to a point where we're ready to start cladding the outside with the OSB and getting it all covered in membrane. Yeah, it's great to have you back though.
Yeah, no, it's good. We're ready to get stuck in.
Yeah.
Plan for today though, we're doing the walls, as you say?
Yes, mate. Yeah. So the plan for the day is I've got that frame completely finished. We're just going to go and finish those ones over there because I've run out of nails.
Nice.
And then we'll stand those and brace them properly.
Yeah.
And then we'll make these end walls once they're stood, because we need to again make them like this.
Yeah.
Stand them up. And we'll get this wall, that wall, those, all the corners up effectively, and then we'll bring in our beam lifters which have just arrived.
Yep.
And we'll start thinking about getting the front beam up. I've made all of these small panels that go on these piers.
Yep.
We'll get the front beam up and we'll land it, and we'll start squaring everything up, paralleling everything.
Cool.
Then we've got these tie beams that go from that corner right across to the back wall. Then we'll put these small returns of stud work in over here, there, and at that point we've got a perimeter then.
Cool.
So over the next couple of days, that's what we're aiming to do, and then start putting the OSB on the outside, which is a piece of cake basically.
Yeah.
It doesn't take us very long, that. So
I know.
we better crack on.
So the first job was finish that other wall number 2. So we just quickly got to our stack of studs, rigged our nail guns up so we were ready, and the idea is Ed's going to go one side, I'm going to stay on this side, the studs where the pile of studs is, and we're going to go through nailing them up. You'll also notice that we stack a whole load of studs together, and the reason we do that is to check that they're flat when they're on the stack, and then when we spread them out we know that our wall is going to be super flat too. So yes, once we got this up, it was a matter of getting ready to stand the walls up, or the first couple up, and crack on.
We're just about to stand the first wall up, and in preparation for that, because as soon as we stand it up, Ed will hold it and I'll put a brace in. We've cut a brace and we've made that the right length so it stands at 45 degrees, which is always the optimum for a brace. You don't want it too long that it can whip, and you don't want it too short that is really, I mean, shorter is better than longer in a sense, but something like 50, 60 degrees is all right. So first thing I'll do is I'll fix in a small bit of timber in the right place. We're just going to put a brace on the center stud, which is this one here. So I'm just going to get a measurement from the wall. This is actually positioned in the right spot, 2790, and we want to come on across the floor, 2790. So that's roughly where that wants to be. So if we can just put a bit of a block here. And the reason why I'm just going to stick one in the middle is as soon as we stood this up, we've got to make that wall. If I put a brace here, it would be in the way for making that wall. So I want to be out 2.5 to the middle of that, and that'll be in the right position as well. So we're coming out here. Just an offcut of 4x2. Put a couple of spaces under it as well, because we don't want the rain sitting in it. I'll just stick that like that. There we go. Right, let's get a drill. We'll fix that in. Just a couple of concrete screws, and it's just enough to hold it all. One in this side. Nice and solid. And the idea is, once we're fixing the side of that and to the side of the stud, with that long brace, we'll plumb it up and bang. Right, let's get this damp course just tacked along the bottom head.
Yep.
You pull one end tight.
We should go along.
Yeah, if you go to the other end for a minute. That's it, and I'll just work my way through.
Yep. Likewise.
Cool. Right, so that's that ready.
Worm now. Get that out.
A worm? Save him.
Get that out of the way.
Now, mate, we are going to, between us, just stand it up.
Yep.
And once we've got it stood up, just you stand in the middle and hold it.
Yep.
So as we go, if I go one end, you go the other, it's not going to slide off, it'll grip. It's a nice big footprint that we've got there. All right, let's give it a go. I think what we want to do is ease it back a little bit first, so it's really on the corner of the brickwork. Yeah, so it's just in of the, yeah, that's perfect. We're just going to check we're roughly in the right place on the length as well. In fact, he wants to come to me a little bit on the length. Yeah, ready? Okay, that's it. I'm just going to check that now. About 47.
From the corner.
Yeah, from that arris.
42.
So just to me a tiny bit more. And again, that saves us trying to bump the whole thing. 45?
44.
Yep, that's good enough for now. And then we'll just make sure that we are both off the same amount off the wall.
Yep.
Yeah? A bit more this end. That's it. All right?
Yeah.
Feeling strong?
Yeah.
Let me just check the damp course is all as it should be. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't be too bad. That's why I've not put the OSB on yet, because it would just be colossal. Let's just try and move it, get it moving. Yeah? Right. Ready? 1 sec. Right, this is the danger zone. All the way up now.
Yep.
And just hold it there, check the damp.
Yeah, my damp's looking
Good. Right, up you go. And then move to the middle. And you stay in the middle.
Yeah.
You all right there, Ed?
Yeah.
It wasn't too bad, was it? Considering this is the heaviest wall of them all.
First little bit, and then this.
Yeah. Let me get my hop up. Look at that. Looks amazing, huh? Right. Okay. I'll just check the bottom position. I'll take a screw in it for now.
Yeah.
And then we'll check the bottom position, and then we'll level it properly in a minute. Then we have a cup of coffee. All right, you let go now. So the first wall stood up, temporarily braced, until we get the actual line of it exactly right, which we'll do now by setting it out off the front piers here. Then we'll get the bottom in the right position, and then once we're happy end to end, we'll then replumb that middle up and fix it. And that's as far as we need to go. We're going to repeat that process on the other side. Make these stud walls up after that. That will take us up to about lunchtime. Stand them up, and we're looking good. The wall's gone up a treat, and what we're doing now is we're just going to put some basic fixings in to hold the wall plate exactly where we want it at the bottom. Now, I always talk about rods, and right since I started this job, I made my length rod. And this length rod will enable me to set every single thing out. You can see that I've got the OSB marked on, the stud thickness, and so on. And so we're keeping everything true with that. That's how we know where the wall goes. It's dead central of the building, of course. So now we're just going to stick a couple of concrete screws straight down into these bricks here. And these are only temporary. We're actually going to be doing a proper chem fix job on these at some point. But yeah, so stick one in there, Ed.
Yep.
And they're just going to act like a pin for now. Nice and gently, and then that's it. One either end, and then we'll just check the middle's nice and straight. Tap it up. That's it. Now we'll eye that through, Ed, and make sure that that's nice and straight. Get one in the middle. So yeah, have a look down it from end to end. We'll get that straightened up. Then we'll do the actual plumbing up of this brace here, and we're on to the next bit. Right, so that's nice and straight. That's lovely. Now let's get this plumbed up properly. If I give you this stick level in the middle, we can get that plumbed up, and I'll fix it exactly where you want it. And that's as far as we need to go for now. Let's just check that stud's nice and flat for leveling. Yeah, it's perfect there. Right, so we'll leave the top attached, and I will adjust it on the bottom. I'll loosen it and get a bit of weight on it. If you just get ready with a level, just make sure it's nice and flat on that stud. All right, go on then, mate. How's that?
That's on here.
That's perfect. We'll leave it like that for now. Let's go and do the other side. All right, we're looking good.
We went straight onto the other wall and repeated that process. It's like everything. Once you do it a couple of times, it gets quicker and quicker. So we lifted that one up, braced it up, got it in position, and then off camera, we made the side walls. Here's the first one we're lifting in. Again, very straightforward. It's just got a head plate, a sole plate, and a series of studs. And we stood that one up, and we got the corners fixed together. Once the corners are fixed together, then we're basically held nice and true and plumb. Then we went over and got the other end done as well, and we're looking good because we've now got 2 corners of both garages up. I'm happy there.
It's been a good day today. It's been great having Eddie back on site, having another pair of hands, and we've done exactly what we wanted to do. We've stood the back walls up, we've made the side walls, we've stood those up, we've got those fixed in and squared, so we know we're happy with them. They're all nice and level, true, plumb. The next job tomorrow will be getting up the beams, so these head beams at the front, and then these tie beams that go across, which I build my gables off actually on the middle section of the roof. We've got the beam lifters set up. Okay, so how they work is that you can see the one that's closed, that's as far down as it goes. So what we start with is a strop, and we'll strop the beam up in the air. We'll put it on a couple of trestles so we can then lower the beam lifter and get it underneath, and then we can lift them up gradually. We'll lift them right up high where we need them, and then we'll slot in the panels that I've already made underneath. We'll get them square, plumb, true and in line, and then we'll fix the first one to that side panel there that we know is plumb. And then once we've got that, that will solidify that whole front section. Then we'll take the beam lifters inside and we'll lift the tie beam, which is front to back, and it sits over the top of this front beam on the garage, and it sits over our wall at the back, and it lands on another bit of partition which comes underneath it, another bit of stud work that comes underneath it. So that's what we'll aim to do in the next instalment of the big garage build. How's it been first day back, Ed?
Yes, really good. Happy to be back. It's been a long time. It's been about a year,
mate,
hasn't it? So I'm very happy to be here, and we've made some good progress.
Yeah, it's fantastic, isn't it? It's one of those jobs that you just get stuck into, and you know, we were lucky with the weather again today, and that's half the battle this time of year, is the weather. You can do a little bit when it rains, but when you've got all of the tools out and everything else, it's just, they just don't like water, do they, you know? So, yeah, so we are ready to rock tomorrow.
Yeah, big
we'll
beams.
Get these ones up, we'll get them up on the lifters, and we'll get some of that footage filmed, and then we'll basically have a perimeter, a square, and we'll do the same on both garages. So we're doing everything in sequence here. We're building, standing, building, standing, building, standing, and I just think that's the best way to handle it as well. And also, when I set this building out, I made sure that all the datums would work on either garage. Now that's only possible where you've got good brickwork, Ed.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that's as we've been putting the corners in and everything, we've been going around and checking that we're square, and then the brickwork is just translating to it beautifully.
Yeah.
So everything has come out really, really nice.
Yeah, it is. I think it's a lot harder for bricklayers especially using these imperial bricks, which
Yeah.
are handmade imperial bricks. You know, they're not like they've got dead sharp Harrises that you can just, you know,
There's a lot more variables in there.
Yeah, of course there is. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed that instalment. Keep tuned. So nice to have Ed back. Send him some nice messages in the comments. I'm sure he'd appreciate it.
Yeah, always.
And we'll catch you soon.
Nice one.